everybody. The running jackal here, running on his favourite trails once again. This section is quite delightful. Swoopy downhill. Not earbuds today, just recording au plein air in the open, as they say.
Distance 2.02 kilometers. Average heart rate 130. Workout average pace 8 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer.
It's hovering around the 9-minute pace. Took me a while to get warmed up today. I had to take some early walk breaks. So today is Monday, the 11th of November, lest we forget. It's not a stat holiday here, but a lot of people have the day off. But not the emergency healthcare people. They are open for business today. My son is supposed to be going in for a checkup. We're a little concerned about C2.
Average heart rate 130. Workout average pace 8 minutes 48 seconds per kilometer.
He's definitely large. A large chap with a big belly. He's probably pre-diabetic, and if he just got his act together, he might be able to avoid having to take diabetic medication. We'll see. He managed to miss his last appointment. He overslept. Let's hope he goes in for the one today. Norma's had to relocate her Pilates classes to another studio. Let me just take a photograph. Got it. I'm going to take you up on the meadows today, and I still haven't decided whether to come back through the saddle to Little Mount Doug and then Whitaker and back to the resort, or whether I'm going to go over the top of Little Mount Doug and then come back on this side of the mountain. We'll see how it goes. I'm still trying to get my calorie burn in one session today. My heart rate is hovering around the 130, 125, 130. Not too bad, but my breathing is kind of compromised. Hope it's not COVID. I've managed to avoid that.
Distance 2.31 kilometers. Average heart rate 119. Workout average pace 9 minutes 3 seconds per kilometer.
I've managed to avoid that so far. Today is the first day that I am relying on electric heating on the ground floor of our house. I ran out of wood. Even though I went out foraging yesterday, I couldn't get more than a night's worth, well, a full day's worth of wood in my panniers, which I burnt yesterday drying the laundry from my wife. Today, the younger son, Zarin, who lives with us, he decided to do his wash.
Average heart rate 127.
127. 9 minutes 2. seconds per kilometer as I start to jog again. My walk breaks now will be totally controlled by the topography. When it goes up, I hike. When it goes down, I run. And in the between, I run too. I have minimal settings today on Samantha on my trail run. I have distance,
average heart rate 125,
heart rate,
workout average pace 9 minutes 9 seconds per kilometer,
and pace every minute, so I can't go too far wrong should I get overexcited, which I might do. You know me, once I press record, who knows what'll happen. Wattle and daub. All construction material. Wattle is a fence made out of whippy branches and twigs woven into like a little fence.
distance 2.60 kilometers, average heart rate 130,
Which they used in the old days for construction. They would frame a house with post holes, and the gaps between the posts will be filled with these panels of wattle and daub. The wattle is the fence, the panels, and daub is mud, basically, sometimes mixed with animal manure, which has a lot of straw in it. Herbivores particularly produce a lot of straw in their output.
Distance 2.67 kilometers, average heart rate 123, workout average pace 9.
Excuse me. That's what I'm saying. I hope it's not COVID. Jim is going through his little COVID experience once again. I think he said he's had it before. Can't remember. Which is weird because I'm sure we've all kept our injections up to date. I think I've had about 6 or 7 COVID jabs over the past 3 or 4 years, which hopefully means that if I am exposed to COVID, it'll only be a mild exposure, or it'll only manifest itself
Distance 2.74 kilometers,
mildly.
average heart rate 118, workout average pace 9 minutes 30 seconds per kilometer,
9 minutes 30 is my pace. And when I get to the top of the meadows, I will check to see how the calorie burn is going, so I can decide what route to take after that. As I take another photograph, putting the recorder in a tree, I will acknowledge this fact with this photograph. Here we go. That one was with my phone. That'll probably be the only photograph that I take with my phone. I'm planning to take all the other pictures with my point and shoot, because I can work that one much quicker being an analog device, analog switching I should say, you press the button. You don't have to make contact on a touch screen to activate the machine. Alright, I'm starting to climb now.
Average heart rate 151. Workout average pace 9 minutes 47 seconds.
My pace has taken a bit of a dive, so that's okay. It's early in the week. Last week I managed to do all my training and my 10 hours of activity plus the 600 calories per day burn, which would be some sixes. They are 4,200 calories a week. I've been thinking a lot about this calorie business, and a lot of people have Apple Watches which are tracking their activity all day. They get much higher calorie counts because it counts when you're walking around the house making your porridge, which reminds me I forgot to eat today. No problem. I'm going to be out for about an hour, and I will eat when I get home. I can have porridge for my brunch around 11 o'clock as I observe a minute of silence for the veterans who gave their all. Hello. Park signs blowing over in the wind, and that's where it says park restoration in progress. We need your help. They need us not to run in there, that's what they need. They tell us to stay on the well-used trails, so much so that they've roped off an entire section of the meadows, which is kind of strange because you can get to that section quite easily coming the other way. You end up popped out onto the meadows and with no apparent barrier to your progress. They're assuming that most people come up the way I did. Alright, so now I'm heading to where I have to make a decision on which route to take. Hi there. Hello. Time for hydration. That means 30 minutes so far of activities as I pull the phone out from inside my jacket, my little running jacket. Let's see. Yeah, I'm up to about 277. So I will go over Little Mount Doug today, because this will give me the halfway to my goal, and then coming back the slightly longer downhill way, I should get the rest of my calorie needs burnt. Minutes 10 seconds. I've got a couple of hikers coming up this way too. As I pause my commentary. temporarily. There's lots of ways to get up here. I'm taking the steepest option. Should get me to the top the quickest. The wind is behind me at the moment. My hood is down behind my head. Hi there. The wind behind me. As I come out the top of Little Mad Dog, having just heard the Zone 3. Let me get my camera.
Distance 8.10 kilometers. Average heart rate 128. Workout average pace 10 minutes 37 seconds per kilometer. Autocross.
I'll let them go ahead a little bit
Workout reserve.
as he reaches for something in his partner's pack.
Autocross.
Probably a phone. Into the wind. I face for this shot. And I put my camera away. They're heading downhill too. Now we'll probably be at each other's shoulders very soon. Trying not to trip on these rocks. It's always reassuring when you see somebody else doing what you're doing, just in case you need help or they need help. Hello. Yep. Good luck, everybody. White knuckle trail running as I come down from the danger zone. This is now a little creek bed.
What? Where do you do that?
Yeah.
So you guys contacting me?
Okay, so having left those two behind briefly, I'm now on Whitaker, heading towards the resort and the Elephant Rock. Oops. Bit of a stutter step there. These are my new trail shoes. Testing them out again on wet rocks and roots. They're doing very well. As I slide a little bit, a controlled slide along the side of a root the size of my leg. I'm now in the creek bed again. Whitaker Trail has become Whitaker Creek. Today at Cedars Lake, the Harriers are having the what is it called? Remembrance Day 5K relay. I saw Chris Bateman and Wayne Coulson yesterday out while I was foraging for firewood. They were doing an out and back to the pigs, and like me, they decided to get to a designated spot. Hello, dog. Hi there. Go that way.
Come on,
Off you go.
Over here. Sorry about that.
It's all right. Hi. They turned where I turned at the pig farm. They're going to be running in a veterans relay team. 4 runners, each running an approximately 5-kilometer loop of trails, very much like these, maybe not quite as steep, but just as muddy. I was going to go out there, but it means rather too much riding on my e-bike, which is a little bit of a cop-out, really. Today I wanted to get an hour of intense activity. Well, when I say intense, I mean zone 2 kind of trail running, stuff that you've heard from me ad nauseum for the last 12 years.
3.48 kilometers. Average heart rate 113. Workout average pace 10 minutes 54 seconds per kilometer.
So almost down to 11-minute pace now. That was over the last kilometer, I believe. I lost a fair bit there, climbing over Mount Doug, or Little Mount Doug I should say. Now it should be gradually getting faster as the trail gradually becomes easier to negotiate. I'll take the high road here, preferring to be on the wet rocks to being in the creek bed. I do have 2 wet shoes now, so my next trail run will be either 2 days away or 1 day away, depending on whether I use my spare pair.
Average heart rate 107. Workout average pace 10 minutes 57 seconds per kilometer.
I always keep some of my shoes after their due date has passed for the winter season, because there are times when the traction isn't such an element, isn't so important. Stuff that's not quite as treacherous. As I take a photograph of the Elephant Rock from an unusual angle.
Auto pause.
Let me put the camera away. Hello.
Hi.
Pretty wet, eh?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm well and truly soaked, both of my shoes now. One was sort of borderline wet, just around the toes, but once you feel your heel is wet, that's what I call
Distance 3.6
full immersion. Hello, dog.
Hi.
Hi.
It's all here in the way, bud. Come on.
There's another big dog. It's all to do with tone of voice, I'm sure. They won't bite you if you sound friendly. If you don't say anything or if you make a loud noise, they might take offense. Hi there.
Hi.
Kind of sloppy today.
It is a bit, yeah.
Okay, now I go down. Down, down. Hopefully not on my butt.
Distance 3.71 kilometers. Average heart rate 118. Workout average pace 11 minutes 2 seconds per kilometer.
Alright, so that's to be improved upon. Now, 11 minutes 2 is my pace. My next port of call will be the fake bridges. I'm doing this loop clockwise. Today, I was going to do it anti-clockwise, but this way is much more pleasing to me. It starts off with the ascent of the meadows and then over the little Mount Doug towards the saddle and then taking a left fork onto Whitaker.
3.81 kilometers. Average heart rate 123. Workout average pace 11 minutes per kilometer.
11 minutes, okay. So I've knocked 2 seconds per kilometre off my pace. Heading down towards the fakey ridges. Yep, this is correct. The other day, for some reason, I got lost. I got lost up here. Distracted, I should say. I was probably looking down when I should have been looking for the corner of the trailhead that I was supposed to be taking. But it's never a real get lost situation because the mountain is so giving.
Distance 3.93
You see the top, that's
Average heart rate
the top,
121.
and
Workout
all
average
the
pace
other
10
trails go
minutes.
round or over the top. So you just find a major trail and follow it round or up. None of them really go nowhere. You only get those nowhere trails when you're on a scenic coastal trail. Quite often you see a little, what they call a lookout trail. It looks promising at the beginning, but it'll just take you to a cliff where you stop and admire the view. Alright, this is the bridge section. I'm going to record my trailer video here, seeing as I have my point and shoot. Hello everybody, Carlos here, recording his trailer video for today's episode of the Running Jackal podcast, running over the fake wood bridges down towards the resort.
Average heart rate 119. Average pace 10 minutes 2 seconds per kilometer.
I think she said 10 minutes something per kilometre. I missed it. I have her volume setting pretty low today as I'm recording a show. I have my voice recorder in its little baby mitten, the baby glove, as Derek calls it. Down, down, down. Down to the resort at the back of Mount Douglas Park. Somebody told me this used to be a gold miner's trail. There is a mine. Hello.
Average heart rate 127. Workout average pace 10 minutes 42 seconds per
2
kilometer.
minutes 42. Time for hydration means that I've been out for 45 minutes. As I take a walk back, flip the camera around to myself and say bye-bye to you and look out for my episode in the usual places. Bye-bye. Okay, I've done that. Let me put the camera away as I approach the resort. I will also check on the audio length, not wanting to go too far overboard.
Distance 4.30 kilometers. Average heart rate 149. Workout average pace 10 minutes 40 seconds per kilometer.
10 minutes 40 as I pause to check. Okay, so I have already gone over the half hour, so I will just take this opportunity as I approach Cordova Bay Road and the noisier trails to say goodbye to you on November the 11th, lest we forget. Bye bye.